and that you guys walk away with this with a sense of I'm feeling stronger about myself and my career. So with that being said, I'd be remiss being the hip hop of real estate if I didn't start us off with some music. And so if you guys are feeling like you just need to shake some shit off this morning, I see Kevin, I see you, bro. So let's just talk about, since we're talking about getting stronger, let's just play a little bit of music to hype us up right now. Whoa, wait, shoot. Dang it. Hold on, wait for it, you guys. Damn it, it messed up my whole thing. Anyways, we got the gist of it. What's that, Ryan? That's why I didn't DJ.
I was saying prolonged beat drop. You just got
right. So here's the idea, you guys. We want everyone to walk away from this week feeling a little bit stronger. And I wrote some notes today because I think that it's really, really important. And I'm going to call this the Christina energy. Anytime that I've met people in business, they've said that your energy is contagious. Like, hey, are you always on? Like, how do you have this type of energy? And I wrote some notes here last night in preparation for today's call. And I said, we get one chance. And I think I saw it on your story this morning, Ryan. We get one chance at this life, right? My buddy who beat cancer, who was a quadriplegic for 7 months of his life, he wakes up every day and he tells himself, he actually got it tattooed on his arm, life's not a dress rehearsal, right? We get one fucking chance to do this right? How am I going to approach my life every single day? Am I going to give enough of myself, the amount of energy that I need to give in order for me to achieve the results that I want to get in life? I said, do we approach our day in business with lackluster energy, or do we bring the fire every single day? Right. And I thought about Christina because anytime, Christina talks and she's on these calls, like there's this sense of contagious energy, and some of that stuff, obviously you have to muster that within yourself, right? You have to get in alignment. You have to find your strength. And so Christina, if I don't know if like that comes naturally or if that's something you have to dig deep to do, like, can you tell us a little bit about where that energy comes from? Because I think that equates to a lot of your success and pushes you through the day for these long ass days. Can you kind of tap into that for a little bit for us?
I really don't know. I just wake up and it's just like, I'm going to kill the day. I mean, I truly do wake up around 5 o'clock. I throw on a little bit of spiritual motivation. I have a favorite preacher that I like to listen to. She's called Real Talk Kim. She's kind of, just hip hoppy, kind of ghetto-ishy, but like her message is just my energy and I feel it. I love it. And I don't know, like when I'm just out of alignment and like this spirit and this vibe is just in a different vibe, like my day is just nasty, like, and I don't like that. So I do really thrive, like Elias, like I love your energy. We have some amazing people on our team that just like have this fire, and I love it. I thrive off of it, and I think everyone else does. So I do my best because I just want more. It's like and that's kind of a problem though, because I just want so much more. And it's like, when am I going to get there? I'm like this crazy hamster on this wheel, like, but I appreciate Jen's message the other day. Like sometimes you got to just sit for a minute so you don't get worn out. So.
And yeah. Not everybody's going to be an extrovert. And we're not saying like, hey, you have to be like Christina, because we're all different in our own regard. But your energy is something that people can feel before they even meet you, right? You can exude positive energy and a feeling of being grateful and abundance without having to be like super boisterous or super jovial. That's not your style. That's cool. But what you can do is you can approach every single day with a level of energy, and it's simply a choice, right? Simply a choice. There's those people in the world that are the freaking Debbie Downers. Hey, how are you? Same shit, different day. What? Like, it's a new day, new experiences, new opportunities. I'm excited and grateful for what may happen for today, right? And so, I think that when we think about how we're approaching every single day, that's super important. So Christina, we love your energy, appreciate that. And Melody's a lot like that too. Melody, where does that come from? Is this something that has always been a part of who you are, this energy, this contagious, type of feel? Like, where does that come from?
Well, Christina and I are like soul sisters. So you already know that we are linked up energetically. I love her energy. And I love your energy too, Elias. I feel like you and I definitely like feed off of each other when we're in the same room, which is awesome because you rarely come across people like that in your life. And I feel like we've definitely got the formula down on our team. Um, I just, it's funny because anything that slows me down, I don't like. I've always liked to move fast. Like I really do. I talk fast, I walk fast, I drive fast, I eat fast. Everything that I do is fast. And my family members are constantly telling me to slow down. You know what I mean? Slow down, take a minute, like pause, breathe. So, I just, being on this team sped me up even more than I could have ever even imagined. And it actually challenged me to become better and get faster, even though I never thought that was possible. So I would say just connecting with like-minded people on a daily basis that get your energy up and going, and then take that and run with it. That's what I do. I wake up, I make my calls, I call a couple of people, and I, soak up the good vibes, and then I just hop on the phone, or I'll, start calling my clients.
Beautiful. I love it. Absolutely love it. So you guys, I want for you guys to walk away with some actionable items, for today before we turn the calendar to the new year. I had an old mentor of mine that told me, and I love this quote, be the one that you dream to be, right? And think about that quote, right? Who do you want to be? And the person that you're going to be 5 years from now is vastly different from the real estate agent that you are right now. If you are going to make $1 million, your life is going to change over the next couple of years. And so this game and sales and in general is a game of evolution and constant change and self-analyzation. So you have to ask yourself, who do I want to become? And then be the one that you dream to be. And I really, really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Jason, dope sweater. Love it. They're tight, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm liking it a lot, man.
Dude, they're sick. Looks good on you, man. Looks good on you. So couple things that I want you guys to work on, and these are things that are going to be a work in progress. First things first, what I'd like to see over the next week or so is I'd like to see everyone make their goal declaration. And I want you guys to declare that to the world, right? Here is my goals for 2021, and I'm putting it out to the public so I can share that with you guys so everyone can help to keep me accountable, right? The moment you declare that, okay, so Roxanne was on a call with us Monday. She said, I'm going to throw it out there, Elias. I'm going to do 50 deals, honey, right? And she was all about that. Then she hopped on a couple other calls, and then I'm seeing it all over social media that Roxanne's going to do 50. So it's becoming so real for her in just this last week when she declared that. So my challenge to everybody on this call is to make a declaration of what your goals are for 2021. Put that on Instagram, put that on your social, and let's start getting everyone hyped about your goal. Because more people know about it, more people are going to bring it up, and it's going to push you guys. So I highly recommend that you make a video and you declare this shit to the world, what you're going to accomplish in 2021. I know it might be tough. It's challenging. Some of us don't like being on camera. If you don't like being on camera, here's my advice. Get over yourself. Right? People are going to see you. They're going to meet you. They're going to see how you look. They're going to hear how you sound, no matter what. You're in business, right? This is a face-to-face type of business, right? So if you're not comfortable getting on camera, get over yourself, because these people are going to meet you anyways. So make a statement, make a goal, and declare that to the world. Feel free to tag Kenny and I, share that story with us. We'll repost that. When you think of the reach, Kenny has 10,000 people that follow him. If you tag Kenny and he reposts that, now how many other people know what you just put out to the universe? Freaking starts to build up this excitement for you, for your goals. So make a declaration, make a video of that, and let's start posting that. I'd love to see tons and tons of videos coming out from our team. Like, all right, I'm saying this to the world. I have an income goal, I have a production goal, I have a units goal, whatever that is. I have a health goal, I have a fitness goal, I have a family goal, I have a travel goal, whatever those things are, right? We've talked about everything this week. declare that, put that out to the world, and let's start sharing that on social, because I think that there's so much power. When we go back to this week, you guys, we covered obviously time blocking and setting your goals and building your schedule and talk about your budget and your financing. And those are all key components of business planning. But I think also getting in alignment with what's pulling you, making sure that our health game is strong, making sure that our mental game is strong, making sure that we have a support system and workout buddies, making sure that we have a routine that's going to put us in a position to win. So if for some reason you weren't able to be on the other calls, I encourage you to go back and start listening to those calls and start asking yourself, man, what are some key things that I really take out of this session? What are a few things here that I could input into my own plan, and start to get really, really fine-tuned with this. This is a work in progress. Like we've said, your office, your home office, your computer should look like a bunch of Post-it notes, a bunch of, jotted down this, quotes, ideas, all these things that you're collecting over the last couple of days. It should look like a detective trying to figure out who done it, right? I got all these things, I got arrows of where I'm gonna go. That way you can finally figure it out. And all of you guys might have different paths, right? Because we're all driven by different things. The idea behind this, you guys, is to make sure that you walk away from these sessions with at least some momentum, some ideas, some things brewing in your mind that you can put down on paper and start getting an action plan behind those things. Kenny, anything you wanted to share before we get started in regards to kind of declaring these things out to the world?
I mean, having it in front of you, or I saw Kevin had his dollar on his monitor helps a lot. I like a trick I read a while back was to have your password be something that you really want. So every time you're typing in your password, you can't help but think about that thing, whatever it is. It could be success, I'll give you an example. Elias' password for this room is success. So before you can type it in, you have to type success before you can even get in through the door.
So I think that's great, you guys, and that's just the world we're in, right? We're a very, very social team. We are, very present on social media. So, sharing this it's going to show the world damn, Team Fast is committed, right? Fast Real Estate is committed to their goals, and they're all going to hold each other accountable, right? Your village is going to be here to support you guys along the way. Like I always say, Kenny and I, it's our responsibility to support you in the journey to where you're already going. So you guys have your plans, you have your goal, you have your why and what's pulling you. So no matter what, we're going to be there to support you along your journey. Another thing that I want you guys to do, and we talked about this in our prep last week, is I want you to write down these 3 things. What am I going to start doing? What am I going to stop doing? And what am I going to continue doing for 2021? When you think about those 3 questions, I know for some of us, it's going to be a gut check, right? Some of us, it's going to be like, damn, I need to stop procrastinating. I need to stop being so hard on myself. I need to stop staying up until 2 a.m. and waking up at 11 and trying to get my day started, right? I need to stop thinking I'm going to do things and then always putting it off and never accomplishing things. I need to stop working on one project, hopping into another before I finish that project, and then never getting through any projects, right? I need to keep on, coming to meetings, involving, reading about the market, updating myself on what's going on. I need to keep organized, whatever those things are that I'm going to keep or continue doing. And then what are the things that I want to start doing, right? I want to start waking up every single day early. I want to put a workout schedule into my calendar. I want to have an accountability buddy for 2021. I want to attend X amount of seminars. I want to speak at the meetings. I want to lead a meeting. There's all these things that I want to do. So start putting those on your list. So start doing, stop doing, and continue doing, and start writing that list down. That way you can put that prominent somewhere, and you can add to it, and you can put Post-its on it, and you can move things over to the stop doing, whatever the case is, you guys. But build yourself a board that will allow you to start looking at those things every single day. Because, hey, let's face it, we're all human. We all have some areas of improvement, some areas of opportunity. So has anybody done that exercise before? Because I know they do it at Tom Ferry summits.
I just did it.
You just did it. Okay, cool. Did you just start it today, or you just did it recently?
About 90 seconds ago.
Okay. Okay. All right, cool.
No, I mean, it's a rough draft. So
okay, cool. All
I'll
right, so,
tighten it up. Yeah.
so there's nothing on it quite yet.
No, I got stuff on there.
Oh, you want to share?
Why not?
Yeah,
Um,
that's right.
So start, tighten up on the marketing, outlining a little bit more on the business planning and trainings. Try to do one per week. Stop being impatient, and then continuing 5 a.m. wake ups, just showing up to all the trainings that we have internally to Team Fast. And this is like a personal one. Keep investing in stocks and mutual funds.
All right. I love that. And that's a great start. Let's talk about that for a second. Jason and I had a conversation about this on social media earlier. No other company in the world is doing what we're doing. If you look back at EXP stocks in January, they're at $8. Does anybody know what our stock is at this morning? Go ahead, Melody.
$69.
69 freaking dollars. You guys. So what did I do this morning is I woke up and I put even more money into the stocks. So I was like, this is something that's grown since when I came, it was in the 30s and now it's at $69. So think about that.
66. 66.
60. When I woke up, it was at 69.
Oh, you know what? Wow, it dropped. Okay, it's still way up high. Yeah, it dropped, but it's up.
So think about your ability to truly diversify. Yeah, it's like, oh, I might not want to put this $2,000 away. Well, shit, you're going to spend that $2,000 on probably drinks, DoorDash, other things throughout the month, right? So it's like, I'm putting something away so my son could have some financial freedom when he gets a little bit older. And then that's money that I'm not going to touch. Is it a chance that I might lose some money? Yeah, but when you look at everything that this company has, planned for it, from the big picture, we're in a really great position to win. It's no, guess why we released that we're going to be in Portugal, this week, earlier in the week on social, and then to close out the weekend, we're at $69 per share. So there's some huge opportunities for you guys for that. And, let's talk about this for a second. Working it into your plan, if you were able to do, 20 deals in the year and 5% of every paycheck is buying stock at a 10%, when we think about what that big number is over the year, if we're doing, $500, $1,000 every single paycheck, that is a huge amount of money that you're investing to redirect into your, your freedom down the road. What we want to see for this team is we want to see early retirement. We want to see real estate agents retire with a great nest egg. They're doing that because they have built a stock portfolio and they have built a great rev share program for themselves where that will keep on paying. A lot of times real estate agents don't quit. They don't get out of this business. They die, right? They work, and they never get out of this business. We want to see early retirement for you guys. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the rev share. We're not going to go too far into the weeds today, but I wanted to talk about that because I think it's an important part of your potential plan moving forward in 2021. Does anybody have any ideas or campaigns or things we can talk through right now on this call to attract more agents that you could potentially sponsor? Now, when you sponsor them, that means that I sponsor them, Kenny sponsors them, the village sponsors them, and everyone around you sponsors those people. So in regards to agent attraction, is there anybody in here that has any ideas of how they're going to start attracting agents to build that level of their business? Go ahead, Walter.
Well, there's a site for one of the prep courses for real estate. So what I've done is I just drop little nuggets in there every now and then. And I actually got somebody who's still studying to get her license, but I just go in there and just drop a gem really quick. And I don't even talk about EXP. I just talk about hey, watch out for this on the test or that on the test. And then you kind of become that dude that's showing knowledge to these people who are hungry and want to get their real estate license. So it creates some attraction to you. And I've had people DM me and ask me questions about stuff and just planting seeds hey, you might go with someone else, cool, but hey, EXP is an option. So holler at me if you want to get some more information. So that's something I've done, get people while they're still hungry.
So I love that, and Walter did the same exact thing that he's preaching right now, right? Walter came to us prior to even being, licensed, and he hadn't decided 100%. And we were still giving him knowledge and insight. We let him into Slack. He was able to learn. He was able to develop and ask questions. And then for him, it was okay, this just makes sense for me to come to this team because they've been so supportive. So I think for you and Will, you guys have a really great opportunity to share that story and to showcase what happened and how you guys got into contract. And I'm going to be featuring you guys, you on live today. But I think that that's a great way for you to start attracting people and building your rev share. So that's a really good idea. Any other question or ideas for agent attraction for 2021? And no idea is a bad idea. Go ahead, Jacqueline. And you guys, this is Jackie. She just passed her test a couple weeks ago. She's going to be representing Fast Real Estate in San Diego. So Jackie, take it away. You're on mute.
So I've found that having a personal touch, especially on your social media, really captivates people. And so when I'm networking so in San Diego, since I'm not from here, I'm trying to extend my reach by attending other virtual summits or whatnot. It doesn't have to be related to what you do or whatever, but really showcasing in social media, being very transparent has really like even though I just now got licensed a few months prior, everyone's already like, oh, I want to do real estate. Who you committing to? This and that. I was like, hold on, let me get through the door first. And then again, just being transparent. And I guess every opportunity, like even going into the coffee shop when you're just breaking bread with people, is a chance for you to be like, what are you doing? Or asking. And also people like to be heard. So asking them too, like, where are you at and whatnot. So
Love it. I love it. You guys, if you brought on, say, 10 agents and you got paid $1,400 a year from those agents, that's $14,000, right? What could I essentially do with that $14,000 to grow my bottom line and to grow my business, right? Could I put that into some great marketing campaigns? Could I put that into my farm? When you think about somebody like Carmen, she spends about $3,000 every single month on a farm. This year alone, she's gotten 6 listings from it, right? So it's like, what could I potentially do with that money? Could I take the rev share that I've developed over this year and then put it back into stocks into the company, right? And then how have I, by leveraging and helping other people grow in this business, I've essentially grown my own bottom line. So what are some other ideas you guys have for potential, sponsorships and downline opportunities? Because we haven't had this conversation at all.
I'll say something.
Go ahead, Pamela.
So we're going to pretty much up our game for video or social media, because pretty much Michael, he's kind of the face. But my sister and I really, we are kind of behind the scenes. So we come out and show, if we show us or we show our growth, then I think that'll automatically, bring in people, because they're like, wow, what are they doing now? So
for sure. And I think it's like this game of evolution. For if you guys don't know, the Spivey team has sold over 500 homes, right? You guys have hit that mark.
No, we made 500,000 in income, but it
was 100 homes or 500 homes.
100 homes. 100
homes. Okay. Which now look at them. Now they're on the team. Now they're looking at what's the next level for our business. They're evolving. They're going to try new things. Like, how great to share that story, to be able to attract others. And especially in a market where there's nothing else like us out there in the Lathrop area, we could really dominate and bring that Bay Area vibe, tech, innovation to a market that doesn't really have it. So I like how you're thinking. What are some other ideas that you guys have for potential rev share opportunities? Melody, I know your mind's working right now. I know that you're looking at doing some things for agent attraction. What's on your plate, and what are some things that you've worked into your plan for 2021?
Video, 100% video. All I've been listening to. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, it's a little bit low, but yeah.
So just video. Everything that I've been hearing on all the workshops and all the webinars and everything that I've been on is just reaffirming the things that I've already been doing and have built up my confidence enough to start actually a vlog. So that's something that I've wanted to do since I got into real estate day one 7 years ago. And I never did it because obviously I didn't have the funds. I was new. I didn't have the confidence or the experience. But now that I do, and being backed by this amazing team, I just felt like I had the confidence to move forward with starting my YouTube channel and my vlog. So doing more of that to gain organic reach. And honestly, a lot of people have just been reaching out to me on my stories on Instagram, and people that have been watching me on my Facebook, and asking me about EXP. The last couple of recruiting calls I had were people that reached out to me about EXP. So it was really nice, because I felt like my, the good information that I was putting out there was actually helping somebody, which made me feel good, and it makes me want to do more of that. So just more video, I would say.
Good. You guys, there should be a component, and I'm not saying go out and be recruiters. It's not really what I'm saying, but if there's a way for you to make some extra money and it's sitting right there, figure out a way, right? And that means, hey, I don't want to do a Zoom call with somebody and explain the benefits of EXP, because then I'm going to get lost in the weeds about all the benefits. Invite them to one of our meetings, right? Be like, oh my God, if you see someone's branding that sucks, right? Be the one that says, hey, I saw some of your stuff. Here's some of the things that we're doing. I think that we can help you from a branding standpoint and a marketing standpoint, because your stuff looks like garbage in the nicest possible way, right? Because I see tons of real estate agents out there that have marketing pieces that look awful, right? That look awful. So it's like, when you look at our stuff, there's crisp, clean lines. It is super, super trendy. It's sleek. So, those are ways that you can lead, and like, oh my God, I want you to check out one of our presentations that we created. I've seen this presentation, our buyer's consultation, catch fire. I've seen it in Spanish. I've seen it, with the veterans logo on it, all these different angles. So you guys use the tools that we have to start attracting others. What are some other ideas that you guys have for agent attraction?
For me personally, I'm actually going to be working on sending out some referrals today. I found these other agents from different states through the EXP directory. However, there may be a time where I won't. So I'm very open to working with other agents from different offices. And, obviously you have to build a rapport. That way you can have somebody in, Nebraska or wherever. And then you're going to have to build a rapport. Within that, I want to definitely throw in that conversation of, where you at? Are you happy where you're at? And kind of get that, plant that seed about what we're doing, have them look at our social media as a whole. And that's definitely something that I'm thinking about doing as all of our social medias really starts blowing up.
Totally. And I think that a lot of people are doing a really good job, like documenting their journey, like Will and Walter and Ryan, like newer agents to the team, but like documenting the journey. But what's the long form, right? What's the long form of that? Hey guys, episode 1 here with Walter. I just want to tell you about, pre-game and what I did to prepare for the test. Then once I got my test, what were some of the things I implemented right away? Now that I've gotten myself into my first contract, here's the things that I've learned along the way. I didn't know what to do when someone was in contract and how to open escrow. So here's what my advice to everyone would be. Here's how I've continued to follow up with my contacts, or my clients once we got into contract. So it's starting to build this library of ideas that you can start sharing. So we're all doing the short form, right? And the short form is really easy on our stories and updating. And here I'm at 123 Main Street and it's beautiful. Look at this kitchen, look at this cute bathroom, whatever the case is. But what's the long form of that, right? What are the things that we should be doing to prep other agents that are potentially looking in this business? Hey guys, step 1, day 1, I'm at the property 30 minutes earlier. I'm trying to get my super lockbox to work. If you guys don't know your code, then you're going to run into a challenge, like just simple stuff, like, right. To start letting people know, like all the nuances of this business, right? So start thinking about this library on long form that you can build video on and then blast that all to all the platforms. And I'm talking about really getting exposed on LinkedIn this year. I think LinkedIn is super underrated. I don't think that we're using it enough. And I think that there's tons of opportunities on LinkedIn. So we're talking LinkedIn. I used to be heavy on Facebook and I'm not anymore. But I think based on the amount of likes that I get and comments I get on stuff, I need to spend time putting more stuff on Facebook. I need to spend more time building my video content as well and be able to blast that out to multiple channels. So start thinking about all the things that you guys are doing, because you guys all have cool things that you're doing. Let's think about some long form content that we can blast on various different platforms. What are some other ways that you guys hope to maybe do some agent attraction this year? Go ahead, Jay.
I think, being on the inside and like looking out sometimes, like we see like how people that aren't with EXP or on our team might look at EXP, like look at the broke agent. He puts stuff up all the time, how we're like a cult and all that. And it's funny.
Totally.
But I think putting out stuff on my Instagram that's factual and not opinion based, for me, I feel like that's the best approach, because then there's nothing to dispute there. It's not my opinion. It's
Right.
it's like reposting what you put up today, the stock stuff. That's not my opinion. That's a number. That's a hard fact right there. That's a hard fact that my stocks went up $500 since yesterday, and this company was working for me while I was sleeping. So I think it's stuff like that, and then just kind of sharing what we have going on as a team, like Kenny incentivizing us to sell, to get those points. I've been in the game for a minute and I've never seen anybody with that approach. And like I was saying on my IG, I'm going to do my job regardless. But it's real cool that that's out there, that Kenny's doing that. Maybe that won't be a thing that comes back, but for the time being, I thought that was super dope.
Okay, stuff.
You know what I mean? It's because, like, in my experience, a lot of those accolades and things have always been kind of, held back for like the top producers. And I don't think that feels really good for a team as a whole, when only the top producers get that shine, because I feel like at the end of the day, whether you're doing 30 deals or you're doing 2 deals a year, you're still contributing to keep the lights on. You know what I mean? So I liked Kenny's approach on that, because like I said, we're all working, we're all doing our jobs. And whether you got 1 point, no point, 12 points, whatever, you still were incentivized to like go the extra distance and try to get something closed up before the time period ended. So that's just kind of my approach, just trying to keep it real and not opinion based and just factual.
Totally. And I think too, man, it's like, I think there's a lot of people that don't understand our model, right? And like, let me share with you guys what EXP is and the difference between EXP and fast real estate, and kind of explaining, how this all works from an agent's point of view, right? Because sometimes people are like, well, what is that? What is EXP? What is this pyramid thing? What is fast real estate? What's Team Fast? Like, how are all these components working under this one umbrella? And I think being able to hit them with some hard facts, sharing our sales stats, really diving in, be like, hey, Elias, where are we at for pending volume for this year? We're at 156, with pending volume closed and listings taken. Like, being able to share raw facts and raw data, because it's undisputable. So I really like that idea, Jason. It's really good stuff. What are some other thoughts that you guys have for potentially building your own organization and your own agent attraction?
Hey, Elias, it's Will.
Hi, Will.
Hey, so
Can you turn up your mic too?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yep, I got it. Yep.
Okay, so actually, I'm helping my friends getting real estate license, 3 of them right now. So that's what I'm doing.
And how are you doing that?
I told them, hey, restaurant business is dying. You need to do something else. You can't just wait around and wait for the world to open up again. What's your passion? Like, you want to do real estate? I'm closing 1 deal already. I'm getting into another contract soon. So you can do it too. Like, I guess I've been coaching in restaurant, and then I see people potential, and like they like my stuff that I post online. Like, hey, Will, like, what's that? How is it? And we start talking about real estate, and then I told them, why don't you get your license? So I'm helping them. Yeah.
I love that, Will. And for you, I mean, for people that don't know, I mean, Will came to this country and, lived in a small little room underneath the stairs, worked catering, like, worked his ass off, got married, got his citizenship, got his real estate license, and look where he's at right now. Like, being able to share that story, Will, in itself is going to attract people to say, you know what, if Will can do it, I can do it. I came to this country, I didn't have much opportunity, and look what I made for myself, and look what I've created for my life. And now I'm a homeowner, I have a husband, I have a thriving business, and I took some knocks on the chin along the way and learned, and look where I am now. Well, you have an amazing story. I would get yourself a videographer right away to say, here's my journey into real estate. And if my journey inspires anybody to take that leap, I want to talk to you and I want to invite you into our culture. Here to help out any way that I can. Love you guys, Will, right? That's the message. That's the message we send out to people because there's so much power behind it. So I definitely want to encourage you, Will, to make sure that you put something in a long form content base. That way you can share that with the public, man, because your story is a dope story, man. What are some other ideas that you guys have for potentially attracting people to your own organization and building that line of revenue? No ideas?
Okay. I wanted to tap in. Sorry, I was like getting into my car and I didn't mean to cut Will off. But I was wanting to say is, you know, agent attraction is not, I mean, recruiting is not easy. Okay, I'll tell you one thing about that. Secondly is when you're recruiting agents, I had someone that was in EXP many years ago, 4 years ago, they've been trying to recruit me. And I was like, you know what, I just, you know, so it's hard, right? Because one, some people out there that are doing the recruiting has given them a bad name. And then everyone's like, oh gosh, you hear that brand and it's like, we don't want to be associated. But at the end of the day, you know, what happened was, and I look, and they were like, everyone's like, holy cow, you're at EXP? I'm like, yes. But it was because it was Kenny's Fast Real Estate Attraction. So I think as a campaign that I'm putting out now is what we have as a brokerage under that brokerage, right? So that's what Kenny was saying. And so in regards to attraction, I think that's how I'm attracting people. They're like, who are you with right now? Where are you at? And then I was like, yeah, we're with Fast Real Estate. And, you know, and then you brokered by EXP. And they're like, whoa, so you're with EXP. So at the end of the day, I think that's where, you know, you have to find that fine tuning of attraction, right? And making sure that we don't want to hone them, because at the end of the day, that's not what you want to do. Our job is to sell real estate. If you wanted to be one, because there's people there that's all they do is recruiting all day, right? That's great because they're making a great income off of it. But this is just a added piece of, you know, income that is just so amazing that it's part of it, right? And so I think what we have here,
absolutely,
yeah. So what we have is a really, really great.
Frozen.
Oh, sorry. So it's great to use that as a leverage.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love that. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I think I was going a little bit in and out. Donna was going in and out. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're
Yes.
You keep
Okay, cool.
freezing, but we can hear you okay.
All right, so I might have to switch to my other Wi-Fi, but if I start to freeze, just let me know.
Or you can
I
try
think I'm
turning your
frozen
video
now.
off.
Okay, how about now, you guys?
Good.
Say that one more time.
You're good.
Okay, all right, cool. I'm still frozen a little bit on my end, so bear with me, you guys. Thank you for your patience.
We can hear you.
Okay, yeah, everything else is frozen. So my advice to everyone is don't sell, attract, right? So Kenny and I don't do much selling and much recruiting. It's all about attraction based on what we're doing. So it's about sharing your story, sharing the team's story, sharing our journey, new tools, new great things that we're doing. Like Jason said, our competition. So many of you guys, you know, posted about the competition and Christina's giant, you know, screen, and, you know, Jen's new phone and Dewey's new phone and all the things that you guys won because of your production and doing your job. Those are the things that are going to attract. What are some other ideas that you guys have for agent attraction?
I honestly don't like recruiting. I just want to do me in the weirdest way. So I use a friend of mine. She does marketing, and so I don't know if you guys have noticed, like my landing page for my wall has changed a little bit. She helps me with my pictures. She helps me with the content. So I really don't have to think about that kind of stuff, but it has helped with just conversation, and just like, oh my God, all these pictures are like, you know, it's become a conversation, which then has led into, wow, I see Fast everywhere. I see, you know, you're doing great. Like, and it becomes very just casual. And then it turns into like, oh, if they're interested, oh my God, here, you're going to go talk to Elias and Kenny, because that's just not my thing. But I would love for you to just see how I do, compliment, and then just know that there's some muscle behind what I'm doing besides myself. So, I mean, even this morning I had a DM in my Instagram, and it was somebody from Hawaii. and they were just like, oh my God, we just signed up. Me and my husband signed on with KW, but we've been thinking about EXP and it's just been fun to watch your story. And I'm like, I don't even know these people, but I don't know. So I've just had fun just being on social media and not doing the recruiting part, because it seems like sometimes when you just go after that and you're just like, oh, who could I call? Who could I recruit? Ooh, I want my downline. It doesn't work. It's kind of like chasing the money. If you're always thinking about the money and chasing the money, it's never going to come. So if you let things come organically, it seems to work out a whole lot better, at least for me.
You know what? Sorry, you guys, I had to switch Wi-Fi for a second, so apologize if I miss anything. Christina had a girl on our call last week. What was her name? Zaira or Zara? And she's super, super excited about joining. And I know that she's just about to get her license. And so this is really about just sharing what makes you guys happy. If you're happy about this company, about this team, just share that. And then Kenny and I always say, let us do the heavy lifting, right? Let's just have a conversation with them, you know, and let us do the heavy lifting. What are some other ideas you guys have for agent attraction?
Mine, I'm just more like with, well, one, I need to do more on social media, but being consistent, but I'm not sure. I don't want to be this intense, but I have a handful of friends who are lawyers and all different things, and they've all done the Arbonne and they sell it and they promote it through their Instagram like crazy. And it's kind of annoying, but I now know everything about it, who they are. So I want to be like the Arbonne of real estate in my social media with EXP, but without kind of being that aggressive about it. But whatever they're doing, I want to kind of do that with my social media and EXP.
What is Arbonne?
Really? You've never heard of it?
No.
It's like the same thing as the Thrive thing, but it's way better.
Okay. So it's like Thrive patches?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right? So the idea behind it is like, don't become white noise to people. What I mean by that is that if it's a constant pitch and pitch and pitch, it's going to become white noise. People are going to tune you out. It's like we have to add value. We have to share what we're doing in a real sense, right? And it's like what I'm doing today, I'm interviewing Walter. Like there's nothing stopping each of you guys from doing that with your peers. Hey guys, I'm going to do it like a quick fast real estate update. I'm here with one of my team members, Jason Ellis. He just got a new listing. So want to talk about it really quick to bring even more awareness to this dope house in Oakland. So Jason, tell us about your new listing. Cool, you guys, just wanted to hear it from you. You know, we're going to talk to more team members. So it's like organic, it's within our team, right? So it's like, feel free to hop on a live. You don't have to have permission to do any of that. If you guys want to do an interview series with all of the new agents talking about their journey like I'm doing, then cool. There's nothing saying you. I'm not going to be like, wait, why are you doing this? Like, do it in your own way. Do it in your own version. I don't care how you guys do it. Try, because it's just going to get more awareness and more, eyes on our company. Any other ideas for agent attraction?
I had one a little outside the box, and I'm holding down the fort for all the kids. So if you hear some screaming in the back, that's just them. But actually piggybacking off of what Amanda said, and I'm guessing Arbonne is kind of like a network marketing, is actually tapping in with that niche and applying real estate as a complementary business for them. And especially if they really love their network marketing company, they already understand downlines, uplines, they understand being on a great team. So putting it as something as like, hey, these are complementary. So when you're selling real estate, you can also talk about your network marketing. When you're in your network marketing group, you can also talk about real estate. So just tapping in with that group, especially because you won't have to tell them like, oh, rev share. And they're like, what is rev share? They're already going to understand that type of stuff.
Yeah, no, that makes great sense. So going after the people that already understand the model, right?
Yep.
Dude, I like that. I like that a lot, man, because there's tons of, and the Thrivers out there, they do great on their social media content, right? Jen's sister is a Thriver, and like she's constantly posting stuff about Thrive. And Melody, I know that you had a time where you were doing, like Monet, which is the hair stuff. But I think like what Jeff said, like aligning people that understand that model already, that's great, because you can go from being a Thriver, or you can go from being a multimillionaire selling real estate with that same exact idea and model. So yeah, Jeff, that's strong, man. Good stuff.
You know what? It's funny because when I was in Monet, I realized that a lot of the chicks that were doing Monet were also in real estate, because it takes that type of understanding to
Yep.
know what multi-level marketing is about. So if they're in real estate, they're probably doing some sort of multi-level marketing on the side. I just personally couldn't give my energy and be committed to both and be efficient and doing well and successful in both. So I decided to pour all my energy into real estate and 100% focus on that, which I think is the best bet at this point.
Good stuff, you guys. Love it. I love it. So you guys, like I said, I wanted to try to bring some of this full circle, and we're not going to have a full 2-hour session today, but what I wanted to talk about is us from a company standpoint. As I said, Kenny and I are doing tons and tons of planning behind the scenes when we're talking about redefining our roles and redefining what we're doing as a company. I want to share this big picture plan with you guys, and some of you have heard it and some of you guys have not. We recently had a leadership meeting to really restructure what we're doing to better support you guys. And so Karina is now going to shift into being the executive director of broker compliance. So Karina is still going to be that person to go to make sure that any of our contractual issues, transactional issues, legal issues come to Karina first, but being able to have her be on that higher level and to be able to still be there for broker compliance stuff, but really kind of take her out of doing some of the onesie twosies that can be handled by other people. Molly's going to be our director of partnerships, and the director of partnerships is going to make sure that everyone is onboarded, but obviously, but then when it comes to events, lenders, all these things, social gatherings that we're going to be doing post-pandemic, Molly's going to be able to head up that department. And Julie, the numbers agent, is going to be our creative director. So all the things that you guys are going to be seeing from marketing, campaign pieces, MailChimp, flyers, Instagram posts, it's all going to be designed behind the scenes by Julie. And we're going to truly build that department out to have this really, really cool marketing department that can fulfill all of our orders as a team. Also, what you're going to be able to see is you guys are going to have a swag shop. So we're going to have a Fast Real Estate Team Fast swag shop. So you guys can earn points. You guys can buy those as closing gifts. You guys can, apply those to whatever you guys want to do. If you want a shirt, if you want a cap, if you want to build things that have our name and logo on it, you'll be able to earn points. And so Julie's going to help us build our swag shop. For me, I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing but my role has changed as director of sales and coaching. So what that means is that it's my role to obviously help coach, train, and develop this team, but also build a team of leaders underneath me that's going to be an additional line of support for you guys to make sure that you guys have layers and layers upon support. Instead of having to say, damn it, it's a Saturday, Karina's not working, I need to know how to fill out page 2 of the RPA. You could say, you know what, I can go to my squad leader. We also might even have somebody that will be that after hours agent of resource to go to if you do have some broker questions, after hours. So we're making sure from a foundational level that you guys have tons and tons more support, and it's even more structured and more organized than it is now. John's going to be our director of operations and growth. So when we think about John's role, is we obviously have had him create a lot of the training, but now we're going to have John say, Kenny has all these ideas and I want to open office here. I want to open office here. We have Zillow Flex coming. So John's going to help us with those standard operating procedures to help take some of these ideas that Kenny has on a ground level and help us create a plan. And then him and I will be like, all right, here's the plan. Here's how we roll it out. And here's how we help the agents produce more in their business. And so you guys are going to walk into an environment, in 2021, that's going to even have more layers of support. We're going to do our meetings in a different fashion. We're going to be able to highlight our offers written, offers accepted, listings taken, major wins for the week. And that way we have some more continuity across the board and have a more streamlined process. We talked about Amazon this week on this call as well as on our leadership call. How does Amazon onboard 1,000 agents at one time or 1,000 employees? We have to think like this on a very macro level because we're going to continue to grow. The last thing we want on this squad is for people to say, man, this team is growing and now I'm left all by myself and nobody's called me at all and I don't see my team members. We never want that for you guys. So if we don't plan behind the scenes and put a structure in place, then you guys would feel that. And that's the last thing we want. We want you guys to grow, flourish, and end up retiring with us and not go any other place. So with that being said, as we're doing your individual business planning and helping you guys plan your future and plan your growth, we're planning behind the scenes to make sure that we're in a better position to help and support you guys. So with that being said, I want to go around the room and I want you guys to be honest, transparent, and please share with me because this is how we get better as a leadership team. what would you like for us to plan for you in 2021? As a company, what can we create, schedule, and roll out? And how can we show up better for you guys to make sure that you're more fulfilled on this team? I want you to be honest with your answers because this will help us grow as a leadership team. So let's just go around the room and do this. It's more like a wish list, right? If there were some things that you would love to see on the calendar, things or programs or ideas for you to develop into a leader, like what would that look like? So I'm going to go around the room. Feel free to be transparent, you guys. Throw out any ideas because this is how we grow as a company. So I'm going to start with you, Jason. What are some ideas that you would love to see us plan and roll out for you guys and show up better for you?
I think it's pretty simple. Just one thing that's come to mind, and you've already kind of touched on it with Julie and like the MailChimp campaigns. I think it'd be cool if she put together something, and I learned about this at my last brokerage. This is something that they had implemented and were doing. Like seasonal email blasts, holidays, Mother's Days, Father's Day, just something that marketing creates that's cool. Maybe we plug in a couple of our listings or whatever into it. And then you guys just kind of shoot it out. It's something that anybody can send out or they can customize or tweak a little bit for their own personal brand, but just something that you just kind of take off of our plate because, we have a lot going on. So if that was just delivered to us like a day or two before certain events, Mother's Day, Father's Day, whether it's client appreciation stuff or something like that, I think that would be dope. Because I was really appreciative of that at my last brokerage, that just kind of got served up to me. It was in my inbox. I just had to customize a couple things and it was ready to go.
Totally.
So I would love to see that.
Love that. How many of you guys feel like you are creative designers yourselves?
No.
All right. How many people struggle with the creative part of your marketing campaigns? Right? Okay, cool. And listen, I want you guys focusing on what you're really good at. You know what you're really good at? Building relationships, holding babies, showing homes, making connections, and doing what you're really great at, your communication skills. So I'm glad that you said that, Jason. When we look forward at things that we're going to be creating, like this was just one that we were creating behind the scenes. That way you can send this out in an Instagram post, you can send this out in MailChimp. So we're building all of these things behind the scenes. So no matter what season it is, holiday, special event, certain time of the year, you'll be able to have a library of resources that you can tap into. So look at this on a grand scale when you're thinking about your marketing and prospecting plan. I have 900 people in my database right now. I know there's going to be a seasonal campaign that comes out every single month. I'm going to divide that or times that by 12 times of the year. I've touched those people X amount of times, and I'm converting at least 1% to 2% of those people at an average price point of $750,000. What can that mean for me, right? By simply automating it and pressing one button, like you said, Jason, every single month. Here's all these cool Christmas ones or cool, holiday cards that I can pick from, blast, and send out, right? So, Jason, I love how you're thinking. We're already in the works with all those things.
Hey, were you around, Elias, for the Contactually days?
Before Compass bought them?
Yeah.
I know of Contactually, but I don't know.
It was the dopest, man. Such a bummer when everybody got freaked out because Compass bought it and they thought they were going to, data mine all their clients and whatever. It was like the best CRM in my opinion. It was very easy. But one of the things they had in there was like a library, where they would put these like anniversary email blasts or these certain things. And it's nice when you have a variety of things. It doesn't become redundant. You're not always sending the same thing because then it just looks crappy and non-genuine.
Yep.
So I mean, if we had like a library where you could go to, where for birthdays there were 10 or 20 templates, I mean, that's going to cover you for a long time and it's always going to look fresh and new and innovative.
Totally.
So I think that would be something cool to explore.
Yeah, and it's already in the works, right? So this is something that we're already doing, and being innovative and having stuff that's different and catchy and cool is always going to be something that is going to be a part of our brand.
We could grab that library. We could find that a bunch of people I know would Contactually. You pay for the Realtor edition, grab that library, copy it in. We can. I think there's a quick way to just load up everything in Mixmax. That way you just have it at your fingertips. One thing I did way back. This is like in my third or fourth year in the business. When I had more time, I would preset for the entire quarter, next 3 months, happy anniversary on your home, can't believe it's a year. and I would sit down. I could go out February 18th, like, and then it would just go out or happy birthday. So trying to use postable.com to collect birthdays, just probably have my VAs do it for me sooner. But yeah, you can do those things, or you're strategic about it. And then I think that's the thing our virtual assistants can do for you guys if you want to give your database help with your previous post dates.
Yep. And so this was one, Jason, that we created the other day, or Julie created this, dashing through the no, go away 2020, see you 2021. It's like something that's different. It's cool. Like, we don't see too many of this, right? It's like, hey, happy holidays from our company to yours, blah, 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 same old bullshit, right? So like we are building this out. So to build off what you said, Jason, I love how you're thinking. We're already thinking like that on a big level. And I know, Kenny, you just joined back in. The question for the team is, I told them about how we're planning. They're planning their individual plans for the year. My question was, what can we do and roll out for you to show up better for you guys? What can we do as a company to provide better tools and resources for you guys? So Jason talked about marketing. Walter, how about for you? What would you like to see us plan for you as a company? What can we schedule, create, and roll out for you to make your job even easier?
Cool. Jason kind of stole my thunder. Just the marketing piece, because you're good at what you're good at, and like the tech stuff, that's not my ministry. So like I talked to Julie yesterday. She's kind of working on something, and I just flat out told her, I said, Julie, I would pay you to do this. Like, if I just draw something and like, Julie, I want to look like this, I'd give her 60, 70. I don't know whatever hell she wants to charge, but I'd pay her to do it, because that's less things that I have to do and try to figure out. So that helps me as a business owner. Like, so I think if you basically, bottom line, if Julie could like outsource what she does and like, listen, I can put this together for you. I charge $63 an hour. I don't know how much it costs. I would give her that money, like, every day.
Walter, good stuff. Save your money. It's part of being a fast agent.
Thank you. But for me personally, that's how valuable it is to me for somebody to do that stuff for me.
Oh yeah, and we know how valuable that is, and so that's already something, because we want to be known not only as a real estate company, but we're also a marketing company, right? When you think about Kenny's brand and his tenants and how we started in this business, that's a huge part of who we are. So our marketing department is always going to be something that's on, super, super important. So Walter, I love the way you're thinking. Save your money. We don't have to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to build out Julie's department. She'll be the creative director of marketing. And we're going to have all these little mini Julies and Kennys that are working under Julie to create and to do everything to support your guys' business. So Walter, I love the way you're thinking.
I have one, and then I think you already mentioned it. Just like, something that from my military experience, just have a duty person for the week, like Sunday to Saturday. Like, I'm in an oh shit moment. It's Saturday. I'm in Vacaville, and this lady wants to write a contract, but they want a 6-month rent back. I don't know, crazy scenarios that we talk about sometimes with Karina. If there was somebody that I know that can pick up the phone and help me with that 4:30 on a Saturday afternoon, because I'm a newer agent, that'd be awesome. Instead of like bothering you and then bothering Kate maybe, and then bouncing around to Dewey, like that one person, like I am the on duty dude or do that to help with all this.
I love it, man. But I love how you're thinking, because we just said that in our leadership call this week. We're like, let's have a go-to person that from 4 to 9 on these specific days will be kind of like your hotline, right? Who do I call if I need some help during that time? So Walter, I freaking love that, man. And whether we call it the duty person or the on-call person, whatever it is, that's already in the works.
Hey, Elias, I'm sorry to keep jumping in here, dude, but Walter, I had that situation last weekend where, like, I didn't want to bug Karina. I reached out to Kenny, and he kind of pointed me in the right direction. He introed me to Tina Mancebo. I'll put her name in the chat. She is the managing broker for EXP. I found her on the the workplace.
Yep.
Yeah. So I actually texted her, and she got back to me probably in like probably about 30 minutes on a phone call. Didn't have to bother Karina. She obviously knew what she was talking about and was able to kind of substantiate what I was thinking. So I think that's a great avenue, because that support already is out there for us. It's just EXP is so big, sometimes it's hard to navigate and figure out where to go.
Totally, man. I love that.
We don't talk about it a lot, but we've been trying to make an effort to work closer with ESP now. We're kind of in our own bubble, but now ESP has a managing broker every day from 9 to 5. And then on weekends too, I actually talked to them. This is a conversation I had with Tina the other day. you know, they have a broker on duty every single weekend. The broker on duty is published in the Friday newsletter. Again, and they also check their emails. So like a couple of people that talked to me this week, like I think I talked to Eric, like, I've never been at ESP at workplace. So really want to get you guys on this, because this is ESP's version on Slack. This is the original version where you come here for state group updates, you come here for class and training, any announcements. So you know, as we grow, we need Karina can answer a lot of questions, but if it's something that a broker can answer, they should. Because if it's not specific to something on the deal here, and then it's kind of, you know, you want to get different perspective too. So we do have multiple brokers at EXP in California. A couple are local here in San Ramon, and they actually work at Bishop Ranch. So like use that as a resource too, and especially on weekends.
That's cool. All right, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and you know what, you guys, if you're not up on game on the workplace, then it's our fault, right? Because you know, this should be something that's stated from the onset, from onboarding, should be part of the training. Here's your resources, EXP. We've built such a physical culture, we lean heavily within, right? It's okay for us to lean heavily with that externally as well, because that's all part of who we are as a company. So love that, Kenny. Peter, how about for you? If there's some things that you'd like for us to plan for you as a company, what we can create, schedule, and roll out to make this experience better for you, what would that be?
Nothing on like the business end, but in the beginning, I'm more of I learn by doing. I think for the newer agents, and that's my perspective still, is a lot more role playing. Like it's nice to like go through the, you know, these trainings, but without me actually doing it. And like, you know, when you call us out and say, give us our elevator pitch. And it sounds great when I'm practicing it by myself in the car, but then with everybody watching and you looking at me, we come up against that wall. And that's more of the best learning moments for me. So a lot more like role playing, live action would be great.
Cool. I love that. Yeah. So the plans are to have like accountability calls as well as role playing sessions. There's some role playing sessions that you guys can tap into every day. We'll make sure you guys have that resource. That's part of our organization, Kenny and I, and the people that brought us into this company. So there's already role playing sessions, but I think that there's some power in doing ours. And Peter, if you haven't role played with your buyer's presentation with me, let's hop on a one-on-one, man, because I want to hear it. I want to give you polishing points and critiques, and you've been super busy already. And so if you and I haven't had that opportunity, let's do that, my man, and you treat me as a client. I'll give you polishing points, and we'll hit it hard. So that's something we're going to be doing more of, especially when we have our squad leaders. We're going to be able to come together with our squad leader and be like, all right, Peter, tell us what an inspection contingency is in less than 2 minutes, right? And then be able to like through that and hear. So Peter, I love it. We got you. That's something that's on the horizon. Donna, if we can show up better for you guys and plan and put things out as a company and schedule things and create for you, what were some suggestions on your end?
I love everybody like the idea of having drop ship, you know how we just drop things in there and just send it out. That's great. And yeah, I know that you guys are working on that, and it's amazing. Like the Canva for the you know, just listed and stuff like that, where we can just drop in everything in there, just type it up and whatever, and just blast it out. So that's like, bam, good. The one thing I think I would love to see is how can we, because I've got a new license. Well, he's still waiting for his license, but I'm giving him homework in the back end to help me as I grow, right? Because I want to be a part of my team, and like learning about KV Core to be able to use that. And because as we get our system, because right now we're dropping it into Chime, right? And so that could be like getting into like the whole teams leads and stuff like that. So if we're able to do like that KV Core system, because that system is pretty intense, and if we have that and each of our agents can create their landing page, so when we're on top of that Zillow Flex thing, those leads are dropping into our CRM with the KV Core that's coming in there, right? So that, but we already know that it's coming in from Zillow. So I think that's one thing that I would love to attack for 2021 in the coming.
So let me understand this, as I'm hearing two things here. I heard one thing about new agents, and then I heard one thing about making sure that we understand KV Core. So one thing we're thinking about doing is rolling out like a Tech Tuesdays. We pick a certain, you know, item on our tech stack and say, we're going to dive into KV Core today, or whatever the case is, Real Scout, and then we record that, and that's something that you guys could always refer back to. If it's for an aspiring agent that's looking at getting licensed, there's 3 categories on the Slack channel that they should be tapping into. It's templates and scripts, or excuse me, best calls, It should be training and videos to listen to how to do a listing presentation, how to understand how to have a flow with somebody on the phone or on Zoom. And then third would be market updates, right? So they can start getting very intelligent about the market, so they can start even speaking about it prior to being licensed. So we could talk a little bit more about that, but I love how you're thinking. I think KV Core is an area of opportunity for all of us. Because by a show of hands, how many people truly understand that CRM and how to use it? Please show me a show of hands if you know how to truly use KV Core. So, and I appreciate that, you guys. That falls on us. That's a responsibility that we need to put more training and more opportunities. And if there's maybe some recorded trainings from EXP, we just need to direct you on where to find those things. So Donna, thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that. Melody, how about for you? If we could show up in a better way, if we could plan, put things on the calendar, put things on the schedule to show up and be more fulfilled for you guys, what would that look like?
I would personally like more sales coaching. I'd like to learn more from agents that are, you know, have been doing this longer than I have and have developed their skills more than I have. I'd like some one-on-one coaching. Obviously, I know you guys are really busy, but I do believe that I could enhance and develop some of my sales skills and how to close on people better than what I'm already doing. And I think really those are just the two things. I think that I just want to get better at closing. I also think that listings is something that I've always wanted to just in my mind kind of conquer and be comfortable with from beginning to end and going through the process with a seller. I've done it, obviously, I've listed homes over the last 7 years by myself and I've done it okay, but I just think that I could get way better. So whether that's tagging along maybe on a listing appointment and just shadowing and not really saying anything, I just kind of want to observe and learn how to enhance those skills. And I mean, you can listen to Zooms all day, but there's nothing like the real thing. So
Cool.
once we get back to real life and showings and stuff, I know everything's shut down, so it's all kind of hard to do right now, but I just really want to develop my sales skills, I'd say.
And for you, Melody, and hold on, Kenny, really quick, for you, if there's certain topics that you want to develop, because developing sales skills is a very large, broad, topic. Like, tell me, like, what are the things, whether it's overcoming objections, building urgency, whether it's asking for the present or asking for the, the appointment, what are the key things that you feel that you need the most help with? And then starting in January,
NLP, I would say. Probably, I don't think I have a problem asking for the appointment. I think I'm pretty okay with that. But I think when it comes to the NLP or kind of the more psychological approach, I guess that's, the subconscious, how to sell subconsciously without being so direct and upfront.
Cool. Then let's hop on some one-on-ones for the first 4 weeks of January. You and I, we can do it on a Thursday. We'll schedule something and we'll start diving in. You and I have done a deal together, so I kind of understand how you work. So I'm down to help out with that. Kenny.
Okay.
And then I never had a sales coach. I do attend like a lot of conferences. A lot of how I've learned it. I mean, if you learn coaching one-on-one from Elias, you'll learn his way. If you learn from me, you'll learn my way. But I think there's a lot to learn just from other people. So like how I personally have developed my business is reading a lot of books. I think one year I read like 30 books. Now I barely read past 2 books. Just like Sellers like Sirhan. This is one of the best audios I've listened to. The guy Frederick. Yeah, the guy Frederick Elon in New York also has his own book, audiobook about how to sell. So like, I think a problem with many agents is you guys are trying to learn how to sell real estate. You guys need to learn how to sell in general, anything.
Yeah.
Like, so this is where the NLP is. This is an amazing book. It's a really short read. There's 26 different scripts in there that I think 2 or 3 sentences each. Creator promotes the heck out of this. If you guys haven't heard of Philip M. Jones, you should look him up. He's the director. He wrote this other book too, I think, called like Storytelling. Here's another book I really liked, Ultimate Sales Machine. To Sell is Human. So, like you have to understand the psychology. Cause like you study yoga for years, right? Your spiritual things. Well, you're not studying selling. It'll be like me watching one yoga instructor, like which is Elias doing yoga. Like great, like he does it this way, but like for you understand like yoga is more than that. Like you have to figure out what's your yoga, right? So like I highly suggest if you guys want to become better salespeople, read sales books or like mental books. The 10X book. There's one from one of my favorite books with some guy from a SWAT. I don't know, it has like a wolf on the book, but I'll post my link for my Goodreads. If you guys want to check out some of the previous books that I've had. Just,
Yeah. That's awesome. I always like to start my day with reading. So I just finished The Leader Shift.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, John Maxwell. So yeah, I need another book recommendation right now. It's the perfect time during downtime too. So thanks,
Yep.
Kenny.
I love that. And you guys, I've spent so much time reading because one of the main things I wanted to do is I wanted to enhance my vocabulary, one, but I really want to understand the communication process and the psychology behind sales. And so obviously I'm super boisterous, I'm over the top a lot of times, but I think that I've really fine-tuned that communication when coming to clients and being able to find out when the turn happens, when you're in rapport, what questions to ask, what is the third level, meaning the emotional reasons why people want to do things, to be able to tap into that. I did that by reading and learning and applying, and then also reading body language books. There's a book out there, it's called You Say More Than You Think You Say, and it was written by Janine Driver, who was an FBI like interrogator, right? She would go and do these interviews and be like a human lie detector. And you'd be able to look at nonverbal cues that people are doing when they're tapping their foot, when they're looking away, and being able to notice all these things that are happening when you're in the sales presentation that helps you just to get super crisp with your presentation. So Melody, I like how you're thinking. There might be a chance for us to even launch like a book of the month, right? Like, hey guys, here's the book of the month. And then we could have little groups and be like, hey guys, I did chapter 1. What were some of your takeaways from this book from chapter 1? And then go around the room and be like, hey, what can we apply in our next presentation based on what we learned?
I would totally offer my help with leading that because I love my book collection. That's one of the things I love. So
put it together then. There's nothing stopping you. I'm gonna give you the power to say, you know what, launch the Fast Real Estate Book Club for 2021.
Okay, awesome.
And Jacqueline, sounds like Jacqueline wants to be a part of that too. Launch that. And I'd love to come along because you know what, this is something that we could all get better on, is reading and spending more time on that. So put it together, we'll support it, and we'll get it on the calendar.
Okay, awesome.
I'll help you too, Mel. I love that. Like, let's get 2021 popping. Let's go 1 a month straight audiobooks.
Yes.
In the car. We're in the car. Like, read the fucking book. Like, let's do it. 2021. Let's go. 12
do it, guys. So Melody, we're declaring it. We're putting it into the world. Like I've said from day one, let's have this on the calendar. First start of the year, we'll have a new book that we're going to start out with. We could even do on in Slack, like, hey, best books that you guys have read, and start getting this whole library so we could be stacked up for the next couple of years. Love this, Melody.
Totally love that. That's so exciting. Okay, cool.
You guys, we have a special guest on the line today. It's our personal business coach from a leadership standpoint. And Raquel, I didn't know you were going to be here today. And so super grateful that you're here. Did you want to chime in and say anything to the team, or do you have a second? You're muted, Boomer.
Hi. I just, you sent me your schedule and I wanted to at least pop in one of your sessions. And it's just so cool to just hear this team and all the ideas that are coming. So I love everything that you guys are doing. You guys are on the best rocket ship. And I can't even tell you, have one of the most amazing, incredible leaders. And he's built another incredible leadership team. And obviously you guys saw the post, it's going viral. I can't even tell you, I've been in this industry for over 20 years and have expanded multiple teams and companies in the industry. And I can't even tell you the amount of people that are on my phone going, what is Kenny and Team Fast up to? Help me out. And these are dominant players in the industry. So I'm super excited. You guys are paving the way, making history in the world of real estate in a pandemic.
Hell yeah. And Raquel's really helped us to define how we grow and how we scale for you guys, and to really build a structure to making sure that we have a solid foundation for our growth. Because if we're going to get to $500 million and then $1 billion in 2022, you can't do that haphazardly, and you have to do that with a plan. So Raquel, thank you for all of your help getting us as leaders in alignment. So really appreciate you being here today.
Oh,
Nope.
so much love for this team, and I can't wait to see what 2021 brings. Kenny's smiling because I know he's
I'm trying to do a $400 million goal, and Raquel's like, no, you need to do $1 billion. It sounds cooler. I mean, $500 million. I was like, all right, we're gonna do $500 million.
You know, I'm gonna pull that recording, Kenny, when I said, why not just go for 40 million in a month? And you were like, 40 million in a month? Crazy. And you guys crushed it. This team freaking crushed it. So now it's making waves through our industry. We've got momentum. This is the opportunity. If you've got friends, like other people in the industry, this is the opportunity to really build your rev share. Like you guys are on the map right now. Everyone's looking at you guys.
I love that. And so you guys, you know, the coaches have coaches too. You know, she's been really instrumental in helping us really focus and align and making sure that we have the best resources for you guys and making sure that we're all staying in our lane in our core competencies. And I think that that was super important. It's the message I took from it is lean into who you really are, right? If you're not the one that wants to run and crunch all the data, then don't. If you're the man of the people, then be the man of the people and be the face of this company. So I love her being behind the scenes and helping us really dive into what our core competencies are. So Raquel, thank you for being here today. Let's go over to,
you know, I once, speaking of coaches, I once heard, and I've always had a coach, is that you can't ever fix your own golf swing. So for all of you guys, you know, that are just doing business alone, you've got a team that supports you. Lean into the leadership team, lean into others, because when somebody looks under the hood of your business is when they can actually see your blind spots. You can never fix your own golf swing. So
I love that. Thank you, Raquel, for being here. Let's head over to Joaquin. Joaquin, if we could, you know, plan even better for you guys, you know, as a company, what could we create, schedule, and roll out to make your experience as an agent even better?
I think everybody touched on it, you know. I don't want to kind of repeat everything, but yeah, I think we're kind of heading towards the right direction, and I'm just, you know, looking forward to see what happens and be a part of it.
Good. I love that, man. Thank you. How about for you, Ryan? Same question.
Honestly, I have the same response as Joaquin. I mean, from day one on the team, I feel like I've kind of been spoiled. So to think that it's going to get even better is, you know, kind of hard to fathom, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I think just similar to what Peter said, I think just more like we can always reach out to you or John, you know, for one-on-ones, but I think having like a dedicated time on the calendar where like, hey, you know, we're doing a 30-minute Zoom call for role playing or whatever, anyone who wants to hop in, just so it's already there and we can just like tap into that versus feeling like, I know Peter mentioned like it's hard for him to ask for help. I'm pretty similar in that way. And especially because I know you guys are busy. So it's, you know, I know you guys are open, but it's hard to not feel away when I'm like, damn, I'm taking 30 minutes out of Elias's day to like, you know, for a one-on-one. So I think having that stuff on the calendar is, you know, will be helpful. So
love it. And you know what? We're only busy because of you guys, Ryan, right? Like if you guys weren't here and you guys weren't producing at the level you're, we wouldn't be busy. So, but I appreciate that. I appreciate the respect and of time. But the idea behind this is that we should be able to do these things on scale. There should be something on the calendar every single day. If you guys want to tap in a role play hour, accountability hour, like that's already set. So Ryan, I took a, you know, this is not a lot of companies or leaders will ask this question because then it may expose some blind spots. And that's the idea behind this. I want to ask you guys, how can we better show up for you guys so we can be better leaders for you guys? And so I appreciate the transparency, Ryan, and thank you for sharing that. And I appreciate that. Angela, let's hear from you. Same question from you.
So I love the role playing thing. I think the one thing that I would want is more a listing agent and a buying agent kind of role play as well, just because I've been able to get offers accepted outside of San Jose, but the San Jose listing agents, they're a little crazy. They're like, you got to be non-contingent. So I want to know how to negotiate and talk with them and just be on the same level as them. And at this moment, I don't feel like I am. So that would be something I'd want. And then just maybe some help with the high notes, or I'm struggling with high note and Mixmax. I've even the YouTube. So like anything that you guys can do to help with those would be awesome.
Cool. Awesome. And for you, Angela, don't put too much on your shoulders. You're still first year, really, really diving into this business, and some of that negotiation skills and communication skills and what to say and what not to say, it's going to come with experience and the more deals that you come. So there's tons of things that we could talk about, obviously, in role play, but a lot of that's just going to be by doing and being exposed to more opportunities. So you'll, like, when you think about agents that are on this team, you think about like Dewey and Jen, they've learned through transactions and through trial and error, to communicate the way they do now. So it's coming, Angela. How about for you, Will? If we could show up even better for you as a company, what could we do better for you guys?
Beside everything else that everybody mentioned, I really want to give credit to Karina, just like on lunchtime at noon that we have for a huddle, just to see everybody faces and then just talk about what are you guys doing or ask random questions. It's like, I want to be social. It's hard during this time, but that's really helpful. It's just, yeah.
For sure. I love that. Okay. Yeah, so some more of those. Go ahead, Will.
Hey, Elias, can I piggyback on that? Like that works. So I'm not sure people know, but like that noon every day, like the check-in, just even if you don't have your own stuff, to hear other people's story. I think Christina had like a crazy story yesterday about a listing agent and a buying agent trying to hate on her or something. Like, so I know you're asking for lessons learned and things improved, but I'll give you a couple that work. Like that works. And that 3 o'clock on Friday works, just to have the casual conversation. You might grab a drink, you're chilling. It's less pressure on a Friday at 3, so those are things that are working, like, cause it shows that you guys are there for us and we're there to learn. And it's like just hearing the lingo and the paperwork and the addendum for the FHA, VA, EMD, like it all comes together as you hear it actually in person. So that works. So good. I want to throw that in there. I'm sorry, Will, I took your thunder, but I just had to jump in.
No, hey man, great stuff. How about for you, Martha? Same question. And Martha has a Zoom buyers presentation today, so she's going to crush it. She's asked me for some advice on what to do, what to say. So Martha's going to crush it today. Martha, how about for you? How can we better show up for you guys?
Yeah, I kind of like what everyone's been saying. I like Peter's role play idea. I like the book club. I would be down for the book club. Accountability, that's awesome. Yeah, kind of what everyone's saying. I have felt supported, and so I really like that, and I appreciate that from you guys.
Awesome, Martha. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. How about for Michael Spivey? Michael, how about for you, my man?
I'm not sure if somebody has said this earlier, but I think something like the agent concierge, how when you come on to EXP, that kind of role, that'd be, something pretty unique. Just thinking back on the onboarding process, that would, just kind of be like a nicer touch to have.
Yep.
But besides that, the accountability groups, everything everybody said, same mindset, same everything. So yeah.
Good stuff. Love it. And how about for you, Amanda?
Yeah, similar to what everyone else said, but mainly for me, probably the accountability, just checking in, and then also the shadowing. I'm a new agent, so I was only there for a couple months, but at the last brokerage I was at, before the sales manager left, I would just, whenever she had an appointment, I'd go with her, or vice versa. She would shadow me and tell me what I could do better or differently. And it was very, like we all have our own styles and we'll all learn our own styles. But I think even just, even like key terms or just knowing certain information might be helpful. So that, and then also when I started, granted, I took a little bit of time after I did start for some health things, but I just kind of felt like there was all these amazing tools and technology, but I kind of felt like they were all over the place and I wasn't quite sure where to start. I know there's the checklist of what's what, but I would skip around kind of based on, oh, I don't know how to do this, or I'll come back to this, and so I would check in with Rebecca and just being like, oh my gosh, are the leads here? Am I supposed to be here? Am I missing something here? Where, so, and then there's a lot coming in at the Slack channels all the time. So it's all coming together for me now, but I think in the beginning, it was just a little overwhelming of what's what and how do I organize all that information.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And thanks for the transparency. And yeah, and being a startup, these are the things that we're working on. One of the main things that we're working on behind the scenes is making sure that onboarding process is smoother, that transition over is easier. You have all of your key lines of support, what should I be doing? So I appreciate that, Amanda. It's definitely something that we're working on diligently behind the scenes. How about for Pamela and Terry? What are some things that you would hope for us to have and schedule and put on the calendar for you guys to, make this experience and journey even better for you?
Okay, just to piggyback on everybody for the onboarding and just have a, so basically, ideally, when you do the onboarding, maybe instead of just emailing someone, this is the stuff you need to do, with a video explanation along with it, and you're doing it one time only. I'm scheduled to meet with Molly, but what she's going to tell me, if she had it in video form, I wouldn't have to take her time to talk to her. And so
Yeah,
she'd have to take time to do one time, so.
Pamela, thank you for saying that, because Kenny and I were just talking about that. It's like, well, if we're going to be covering the same things over and over again, then we need to shoot video and have a library of here's how you set up. So it's like, here's the onboarding checklist, here's how you do it, but here's a video that shows you how to.
Yeah,
right?
we're gonna upgrade that. John's actually taking control of that, taking the spreadsheet, and we might use something cool like Basecamp or Asana, and then attached to everything that you're supposed to do, one of us will record it. So we've heard that, and it's a lot overwhelming, and it's also like kind of like for us, like people just end up figuring out, but like some people figure out, some don't. So we want to make it easy for everyone. So we are definitely that spreadsheet is really dated. It's a spreadsheet. So we're working on getting that better. Another idea I had too, you guys have access to Team Fast Calendar. For you guys that want to do role playing, certain coaching, one-on-ones, like Ryan, if you feel bad for half-hour one-on-one, and it's not really specific to your business, it's an open discussion about a topic, maybe we could start adding those sessions to our Team Fast Calendar. So whoever sees it can just hop in that same call with the same topic. And most of them are recorded anyway. So we've been doing pretty good job. We just ramped up our calendar in the last couple of weeks. Here's what we have so far, and then we can always add to it. Right now on the calendar, we have, just real quick, we have daily role play, but this is through EXP Kyle Whistle's team. He runs a 260-man team. If you guys want to practice with buyers Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and sellers Tuesday and Thursday, if you guys really want to do listings, you guys really need to be on these calls to hear how people talk. It's only half hour. And then for us, we have our meetings. You guys know about it already. Karina's huddles. We have our fast biz planning workshops, and then we have My Friday training. Bring your high note and mix match question into Friday. Happy to jump on that to teach you guys. That's an open training session. But if you guys need like a session, well, if you see my calendar is open, grab me, and then we'll put it on team calendar, and we can invite other people on it. So any of these times, you can grab either myself, Elias, John, or Karina if it's a topic you think is helpful, and then we make it public. Everyone can see this, and it'll be easy.
Yep. So what you'll start to see is more accountability groups, role play sessions. Obviously, the group coaching will be continuous, but we're going to make sure to fill up that calendar so there's always somewhere for you to go. Pamela, I love the way you're thinking. The way for us to get better and scale is video. Go ahead, Pamela.
Okay. Oh, I have more. I'm
not
finished on my list. So I'm not sure because we're still onboarding, but are there any groups for a niche? Like if you do farms, is there a group for niches of farms? Or if you cold call, are there groups so we can all kind of get together and have conversations? Does that exist already?
Not yet, but it's something that we're definitely working towards.
Okay, so I think that covers it. Yeah, that covers it.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate the insight. And how about for you, Jen, if there's some things that we can do better as a company to show it better for you guys, what would that be? All right, we'll come back to Jen. I think we've gone around the room. So you guys, I really appreciate, actually, Jeff, how about for you, Jeff? I know that you're newer to our organization and our environment, but what are some things you would like to see as a new agent coming into the company?
First of all, just this question coming up is like blowing me out the water because most people don't want to see or hear this type of stuff, especially as a leadership team. They're kind of like, oh yeah, no, we're doing good. And they don't ask for that feedback. That's something that I do as an agent. I'll like my clients that I just closed with, I'm like, no, you're going to need to nitpick me. Stop telling me that I was good and I was good. No, nitpick me on little things. So I really applaud you guys for doing this. Something that I would say, coming from selling fitness equipment and just fitness in the fitness industry, and I was at the gym before, something that they did well was kind of give us a broad overview of what's going to happen on each step and then kind of giving us a disclaimer that says, hey, you know, this, it could be different at this point. That's when you'll tap into your team. So something that I came across on this last deal that I did, I didn't know when the final walkthrough should be done. I didn't know when, you know, certain aspects of the deal were supposed to go through and how they were supposed to do it. So kind of maybe like a general overview of, this is generally, because we all say in this industry, every deal is going to be different, but there are still like foundational things that need to be hit on the listing and the buying side. So having an overview of the foundation and then putting in the disclaimer, if something comes up where they need a rent back, come talk to us about this. And just having that, because I feel like that foundation will breed confidence. And then that's when you know the foundation, you can bring your flavor to it.
Man, I love that. You know, Julie actually called Jen last night and she's like, well, what do I do when a middle transaction, right? You know, maybe we've passed our contingency window and there's that like 7 days in between. Like, what should I be sending them? What's the communication? What's that timeline look like, right? And so being able to say, here's how you convert all of your utilities, you know, here's all the links, here's all the companies, all the things that you need to be doing. So there's constant communication. There's no lull in the time that you have with your clients once they're in contract. So Jeff, I love how you're thinking. You guys, I really, really appreciate your insight, because we're only as good as our team, right? And you guys are out there front lines. You guys are the ones that are producing. You guys are the ones that are, you know, in the battle every single day. So if we can't be humble enough to ask you guys that question, then we're not doing our job as leaders. And so I really, really appreciate it, you guys. Anything else on the subject before we go into our closing statements for the week?
Elias, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, so to piggyback off of Jeff, Julie and I are going to be working on that, because I think she says sometimes in her clients in the dark, which you shouldn't do. But I mean, you don't know what happens next. Not a lot of people know what happens on the back end. Okay, after you send your contract to the lender, do you guys know what the next steps are? So I think it was helpful for me to kind of talk to lenders and the escrow officers to kind of understand what happens on the back end. So Julie and I are going to work on like a template. Yeah, just kind of like a generic template, like the first like 1, 2, 3 days, what happens you know, after EMD goes in, just to kind of just give your client an update. Because I think with us, we just assume that everyone is doing their job and knows what they're doing. But sometimes, you know what, lenders drop the ball. Sometimes escrow officers drop the ball, and that falls on us as agents. Like, okay, why aren't you checking in on your people? So yeah, so we'll try to put that together and have that up maybe next week or something, just so that, you know, the new agents and even like senior agents know what's going on.
Love it, Jen. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. And you guys, here's the thing. You guys could have done a great job in the negotiating, get your contract accepted, going through the first couple days, and then you do one thing to piss off the client during the transaction, whether it was you didn't have an answer or there was this lull, and then you don't get a 5-star review, or they give you a bad review, right? When you did everything to perfection, and then in that 10 days right before close, they got frustrated, or they got upset, or whatever the case was, and then that you don't get a 5-star review, right? So I love this, and that just came up last night from Julie. And so you guys, I wanted to, before we head out, I just wanted some closing statements, you guys. I wanted to thank everybody for their participation. This was probably one of the most unique, eclectic ways of planning for business and looking at everything, you know, as a macro view. What I want you guys to do is I want you guys to walk into 2020 with a true sense of direction, intention, excitement, and motivation about what's to come, because we can all truly, truly have a clean slate for 2021. Put your plans into action. Know who's going to support you. Know the roadmap to where you're going, and make sure that 2021 is our best year ever. And so I wanted to thank everybody for showing up, for doing the work, for grinding, for spending 10 hours with us this week, just sharing and think tanking. And I know it's taken a lot out of me. It's taken a lot out of our time, but I wanted to thank you guys all for your time, effort, and energy this week. And does anybody want to leave us with any parting remarks, any comments, or anything that they're looking forward to doing this next year? Anything for the good of the order? Please feel free to speak up now. You guys are too easy on me. Come on now.
I'll say something.
So go ahead,
I
Angie.
think we both went out. No, I just want to say thank you guys. Like, honestly, all the training, it's super helpful. Like, I know it's time consuming, but it's a blessing for me. I love it and I'm super grateful. So thank you guys so much.
Hey, we're grateful for you, so I appreciate that. Anybody else?
I wanted, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that this has been awesome. And if it's something that could be done quarterly, where everybody can come and just call it, think, like a quarterly thing where everybody can kind of regroup. Huh?
Yeah, I love that. Coming together and saying, okay, where are we on pace to the goal that we set for the first of the year, right? We're heading into springtime. Let's look back at our winter season. So, Terry, I love that idea. Great stuff. Great stuff. What else, you guys? Anything else?
I just wanted to thank everyone for being, especially Kenny and Elias, for having the culture of being very organized and innovative, because that's just my thing. Like, I want to be on top. I want to know the latest everything. Like, we're hustlers, we're movers and shakers. And I'm glad that you guys move the way that I do, because in this pandemic, I started like a bunch of different things. I told myself, I want to accomplish these 5 things with my vision map. And I was like, hit the mark, hit the mark, hit the mark. And then the last one was like, hit the mark. And then just having the support of EXP, even without being onboarded yet, that just really kept me motivated this whole year.
Love it. I love it, Jackie. We're welcome officially to the team. Anything else? Anything else good for the order that you guys want to, parting words or anything? Cool. Awesome. Well, you guys, once again, thank you. Kenny, anything from your end?
No, I think you left us speechless this week.
You guys, listen, this was so much fun. I appreciate you guys. I really do. Like, just spending some time with me and like us really, really talking through what our plans and our goals and ideas and gratitude lists. And I think that there's been some, a wave of emotions. Yesterday, there was some tears on the call, but that's what this was all about. This was about you guys and really just starting to get the mind working. So I want you guys to focus and really, really, really make your goals front of mind, make it part of what you're doing, who you're doing. And I want you guys to declare that to the world. Don't forget, create a video, declare that shit to the world, what you're going to accomplish in 2021. And we're going to be here behind the scenes, supporting and even getting better for you guys and listening to your guys' ideas and implementing those things. So great stuff, you guys. Really appreciate everything. And, happy holiday season to everybody. We'll be seeing you soon.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you.